All right, we're back, and we have Sonee, and that's Sonee, with us. And maybe you might remember that on a previous show, we had one of her songs debuted on the show, and that was Fill Me Up.
Yes.
That was Fill Me Up. Excellent song. She's got a great voice. If you haven't heard her sing, then I guess you could go to YouTube.
Yes.
And or you can go back to one of my older shows, and it's her name is listed there, and you could hear her sing "Fill Me Up." In fact, I think I even made that the title of the show.
Oh.
Yeah, I made that the title of the show. So, Sonee, why don't you tell the audience how you got started, or when you got started in music and singing?
Yes, I actually, I grew up in church. A church called Union Baptist Church in Passaic. That's where I'm from, and I always grew up. I'm shy. I've always been shy. You know, I went to Catholic school, so for me, you know, everything was about singing gospel. So I grew up in church, and my choir director and Sissy Houston, Whitney Houston's mom, were best friends.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they
Wow.
came every year to annual day, and I learned how to sing just from watching my choir director. And that's how I started in the church. Yes.
So now, do you feel that God gave you that talent,
Yes, I do. I do.
and you feel that He's called you to sing as a mission?
Yes.
Well, could you tell us a little bit
Yes.
how you came about that, or?
Yeah. The interesting thing, even though my, training grounds were the church, I went to Patterson Catholic my freshman year. It got rough for my mom because,
You got to get tuition.
Yes, and she had me and two of my other siblings in Catholic school as well. It's not easy. So she said, I can't send you guys to Catholic school anymore. We were heartbroken, but she said, you have to go to Passaic High. So my sophomore year, I went to Passaic High, and I always been into cheerleading and dancing. So a good friend of mine that grew up in the same town, he said, Sonia, well, that's my real name, but Sonee, I need you to, I think you'll be able to sing, because he heard me humming one day. He was like, why are you always hiding your talent? I'm like, no, I'm just going to dance. I don't want to sing, because my mother never let us listen to anything but gospel. So I had conviction. So I'm like, I can't sing that, because she said it's devil music. I can't sing it. I'm going to get in trouble. My mother's going to come in here. And she was one of those mothers that'll throw the wrath on you.
Yeah, right.
So I couldn't do it. He said, no, that's not true. So he kept me on the phone one night for 2 hours straight. And he was pulling it out of me. He said, you're going to sing in the talent show. I said, okay. I chose a song by Lauryn Hill, Killing Me Softly, but Roberta Flack's song, I believe.
Right.
That was my first song
Right.
I sang in the talent show. That's the first time I ever sang, and really felt confident my sophomore year of high school. And the rest has been...
But now,
Yeah.
did you ever feel that God specifically was calling you to sing?
Yeah, I do. Because even when I, left it alone, I would always run into somebody that's musical. And it's like, I have a studio, and I'm just like, okay, is this divine? But I tested it out every time. And because when I had my daughter, I had to pause for a little bit. I got in contact with someone that was the drummer for the artist Life Jennings, his band. And he did my demo, Rob Sales. He did my demo for me, Can't Shake This. And they just kept coming to me. I kept trying to leave it alone. I said, no, I think because I wanted to go into special ed as a teacher. And it just kept coming to me and coming to me. I would be in the store. I run into a famous artist from back in the day, and I'm just like, this is really interesting.
Right.
So, yeah.
So the Lord was constantly opening doors for you. You know, and that reminds me, you know, Scripture says, "My yoke is easy."
And my burden is light.
And my burden is light. Yeah, right, exactly. So, you know, if he's opening the doors for you and he's bringing people into your life, then he's saying, "Here, this is where I want you to be. This is the path I have chosen for you." You know, and I know we talked about your song the last time,
Yeah.
"Fill Me Up," and you had written it for a specific reason. And what we discussed on the phone and what I mentioned on the show was that we got to be filled up from a different source.
Yes, I agree. Totally.
You know, and that when we sing that kind of if we're a person singing those lyrics,
Yeah.
then we're like we didn't really get it.
Yeah, yeah.
We didn't really get it because we're relying on a human being to fulfill us and to make us happy, and that's not always the answer. In fact, that's probably never the answer.
Of course. I agree. I definitely agree.
You know?
I definitely agree with that.
Yes, yes. Well, so tell us what's going on now in the future with Sony.
Oh my goodness. I just had a show in Harlem on Saturday at the Oberia Dempsey Center. It was actually to help kids raise money for children in the community that, you know, for school they don't have supplies, maybe book bags, whatever supplies they need, that help towards that. So, you know, we went there and we had a really great show, a great time. We opened the show, my band and I, and it's good. It's really good. We have 2 shows this weekend. One is giving back to the community, of course, at number 11 Park.
So
Yeah.
so you are doing the
Yes.
Lord's work.
Oh yeah, I am.
By singing and helping raise money for the community.
Yes.
That's really terrific. So if somebody wanted to see you, where could they go?
Well, I mean, they can come to number 11 Park on Saturday, July 19th. It's called Doing It in the Park. It happens every year, and it's really packed because there are other artists there.
But where is this place?
Oh, it's in Passaic. It is on Gregory and Monroe Street.
Okay.
Between Gregory and Monroe Street, and it's helping the community, and that helps to, you know, just bring entertainment to people and make people feel good.
Now, if somebody wanted to like hear your music without going to a live event, what else?
Yeah.
Where else could they? What else could they do?
Oh yeah, they can go on YouTube or on my Facebook page, which is Sonee Sonee, and you know, just type in Facebook. I'm the only Sony Ratliff. Okay. So they can go on there. I post all of my music on there as well, or YouTube's Sonee, and it'll pop up. My music will come up as well.
Do they? Okay, so that's actually a free download.
Well, currently we're working on the downloads. We're working on the iTunes. It's just the album process we're about to put out by September. So that's when everything will be up on iTunes.
And if somebody wanted to purchase that, could they buy it?
Yeah, once it's up on iTunes, they can. But I do, like at my shows, I have a couple of CDs I sell. But once it's on iTunes, yeah, it'll be downloadable and purchased.
Well, that's
They can
great. That's
purchase it
great.
as
That's
well.
great. Do you have another
Yeah.
song for us that maybe we could put on the show for you?
Yeah, I emailed it
When?
to you, I believe yesterday.
At the doc.
No, the D.
Yeah,
Yes.
speakshow.com.
Yes. I
Okay,
emailed that to
okay.
you.
I'll look that up and
Yes.
I'll try to squeeze it in.
Okay.
I'll try to squeeze it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's terrific. Anything else you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, I will be gigging on the regular starting July 24th. Almost forgot about that one. It's called Club, I forget the name of the club. It's 2 of them that we're Milk River. It's called Milk River. It's in Manhattan.
Oh, good.
So
yeah.
I'll have more
Oh.
information on my Facebook about that, but
Wow.
it's July 24th.
Wow, that's pretty cool. And
Yes.
Yeah, because moving on up.
Oh, yeah.
Manhattan, moving
Yes,
on up.
like the Jeffersons.
That's great. That's great.
Yes.
All right. Hold on. Let me just stop this. Okay, Sonee, is there anything else you'd like to say?
Yes, Doc, I just want to, because a lot of women have been coming up to me, even kind of inboxing me about life and different things, even my family members. I just want to give the women encouragement to, because I've been there, just love yourself. You know, don't put your all into either a man or or people that can't give back to you. They're a vessel just like you are. Love yourself. just love yourself, and everything will fall into place. And follow your dreams, follow your passion.
Amen.
Do what you have to do to follow your God-given purpose.
Right,
Yes.
right. Yeah, yeah. Well, the Lord says, love God with all your heart and soul, and love your neighbor as you love yourself. And you can't love your neighbor if you don't love yourself. Now, that sometimes sounds egotistical, but we really have to take a loving approach to ourselves and not do things that harm us. And we have to remember that this is also a temple,
Yes.
and that we need to take care of it. And that when we do those things, our life is a lot more fuller.
Yes.
Well, Sony, it was a pleasure having you
Yes,
on the show
thank
today,
you
and
so
we're gonna
much.
definitely find some time for another song on the show.
Yes.
And thank you.
Thank you, Doc.
You're
I
welcome.
really appreciate
You're welcome.
it. Yes.
Hi, and we're back with the Doc Speaks Show on Intention Radio, and I'm the Doc speaking to you from the internet wilderness deep in cyberspace. And today we have Kareem Taylor with us, who is a marketing rep.
Yes.
And but Kareem has a very interesting story because he was a innocent bystander on an occasion, and he was shot, believe it or not, 10 times. And last week I posted a song about borrowed time, and I got a feeling that Kareem here is definitely on borrowed time. You want to tell us what you were just about to tell us about an after body life or experience,
Out-of-body experience.
out of body experience. Want to tell us? All right, you met this guy. You're standing on the corner. You were waiting for a cab,
Yes.
and this guy comes up, and out of nowhere he says, "What?"
He said to me, as I was waiting for the cab, he just came up to me and said, "That's messed up what your boy did." I'm a little confused of what he was talking about, but I do know what had happened just a few minutes ago prior to that. But I had no involvement, I had nothing to do with it, and he came back and shot me 10 times. And I'm here
Wow.
today to survive. I mean, to even talk about it. So,
Right, but what now? You get shot. And what happens? You're laying on the ground.
Actually, I was in between a doorway of a building. When he shot me, guess I might have flew back, so I fell back. After he finished, that's when I kind of blacked out, but I woke up. Once I woke up, I noticed I was looking at a ceiling. I wasn't outside anymore. Then I looked in front of me, and he was still in a hallway or where I was laying. He had trouble opening the door to get out. I guess because when he shot me, he must have continued to walk towards me, and then that's when the door closed. But for him to get out, he was stuck for a little bit. He finally got the door open. At that time, I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want him to come back, start shooting again.
Yeah, that you were still alive. He probably thought you were dead at that point. No.
Probably did, yeah.
I mean,
I'm quite sure because I
but
didn't know.
Did he
how
have
many-
two? But where? Did he have two pistols?
No,
Or that?
just one. He had a 9mm.
He had a 9mm and it had that many rounds.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. So, once he left out, I was next thing I tried to do was I tried to get up. I noticed I couldn't get up. Didn't know why. And then I started feeling like a little bit of pain in my hand. And the next thing I thought was, you got to get to a hospital. So the whole time I'm thinking I got shot one time. I called someone from the building because I know a few people that live there. Nobody came out. So now I'm sitting there like, what am I going to do? Then next thing I noticed, I started having like an out-of-body experience. I felt like my body was just rising towards the ceiling and just getting higher and higher. And I actually was like looking down at my body. And like my neck was on the wall and my body was just stretched out. At that time, I was so scared. The only thing I knew, I just started praying. I prayed like I never prayed before in my life. I grew up in church. So right after I started praying, right after I stopped, I should say, I say about maybe 5 seconds. I called one last time for someone to help me. Right after I said help, I heard about 2 or 3 doors open up and people started running down. It was like, oh my God, okay, what happened? You know, I was like, I got shot. And it's surprising, they didn't even hear the gunshot echoes in the hallway. The building, it wasn't a big building. It only had 2 floors. When you first walk in, there was no apartments. There was only 6 apartments at the top. And someone called the ambulance. Luckily, they came within, I say about maybe within 5 minutes.
But
actually,
you must have lost quite a bit of blood in 5 minutes.
I did, because I was up the whole time.
Wow.
They dragged me in the ambulance. Now, put me on the stretcher. They dragged me. Once I got into the ambulance, they asked me how many gunshots did I hear. I told them 1, maybe 2. They did a little test. I guess they was like rubbing my feet. They asked me, could I feel this? I said no. So right around the corner from where I was at, there was a hospital, Bethesda Hospital. They take me inside on a stretcher. The hospital says, oh, he has too many gunshot wounds. We can't help him. You have to take him to UMD where they have trauma.
Right.
So they had to put me back into the ambulance.
Take you to the University Hospital.
Yes. I get there. I'm still up now. And when we get there, all I remember is them wheeling me through the emergency room. I seen a few people on the side. I guess that was already there. I remember them bringing me into the trauma room. And, they said, we're going to take care of you. And after that, it was lights out. I was in the hospital for, I say, a month after that. And then I had to do rehab for like another 2 months after that.
But now, getting back to your that out of body experience, and you saw yourself laying on the ground.
Yeah, I thought it was over. I thought.
And so now you thought it's over. Were you sort of like praying in that out of body?
I really couldn't picture that. I mean, I guess I was, because it's like, you get up and you walk, okay? You know where you're going, you know where your body's at, you know where you are at that spot or that moment. As an out-of-body experience, I felt that rising, going above my body. So I had like both. I felt it, and then I actually got to see my body actually not moving, but just still.
Do you recall any other thing happening? Like, what got you back into the body?
After I prayed.
Now this
After I
pray,
prayed.
yeah, but now this is the question I'm asking you. See, was it the spirit that was praying, or was it the body that was praying? You want
The spirit, definitely. Because to be honest with you, I felt once I got shot and the spirit came out the body, it was just totally spirit.
Okay, so you were
And it
told
was the spirit
and
praying.
so you were praying, and so you had the body. You were praying that you didn't want to die.
Yeah, I mean, I was praying for all my forgiveness, everything I've done, believing God. I mean, everything just came out, and that's why. I was praying to live another day.
And did you hear or feel anything that kind of gave you a sense that your prayer was heard? Or you just felt that, or you just kind of felt that when your spirit was reunited?
I felt it pretty much when I went back into my body. Because once I went back into the body, I was kind of sure that everything was going to be okay, especially after I yelled that one last time and someone came right out. Compared to before, when I was yelling, nobody heard me.
Oh, wow. So your prayers
I feel as though
got
it's answered.
your prayer got answered because someone then came to help.
Yep, right after.
Wow. So, did that make you a believer that day?
Strong believer, yes.
I
Definitely.
would think so. Wow, that's pretty amazing. And so then you spent a month
In the hospital. They told me I'll never walk again.
What actually what gunshot, or was it a series of bullets that took out your spine? I guess
It was one
one out of
bullet.
10.
Out of 10. And what happened was the bullet lodged in between the vertebrae, and when it went, it broke the bone up. So while I was in the hospital, the bone healed right over.
Or right over the bullet.
Right off the bullet. Yeah.
Oh, so you still have the bullet in your
Yeah,
spine,
it's still stuck in it.
and that's the reason why you can't walk.
Exactly.
Because they can't get the bullet out. Because if they do,
It's going to cause more.
it's gonna either make
But-
you worse.
True. But with the type of job they would have to do to try to break the bone and get in the vertebrae,
It
I'd
ain't
rather
work.
not.
No.
That's right.
Wow. And as you were saying earlier, that person, the person that was shot you, was captured.
Yes, actually, when I came out of rehab, like the detectives, then they came speak with me. They had pictures of him. They already knew who he was.